Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. And I think I got that backwards, didn't I? I messed that up this time. Explore, examine. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, you know,
and elevate the medium of comics.
I generally go explore, examine.
Okay.
Yeah, I like explore, examine.
I am Tyler, and across the interwebs from me is Tad. Hey, Tad.
Hey, Tyler.
How are you?
And hi to John and Mom who are listening. Oh, and Phil normally listens to this regular episode too, though since he'll be on it.
He'll be on this episode.
Right. But he's not here now, so he might listen just to get to this part.
He might. That would be weird listening to this episode because this one we're recording in sections. And so Phil will be on for the middle section.
Yeah. And my brother Peter.
And Peter. Yep.
Yeah.
That would be exciting.
So yeah, that'll be time travel. So I mean, we'll be doing this and the end in the morning.
Yeah.
And travel back in time this afternoon to insert the middle into the episode.
Yeah.
Because that's totally how we do it. We don't believe in editing.
We just like to make it
a comic book podcast. We use time travel.
We want to make it as complicated as possible.
Well, we want to make it as authentic as possible.
Quantum physics are involved.
You got to choose the right words, Tyler.
I know. Quantum physics are involved here.
Everybody knows who the artist is here. So for the second week in a row, I'm going to lead off with we lost a comics industry legend that I need to explore more.
Same.
Trina Robbins passed away this week, and she's a legend of the underground comics. She's a historian of both comics and many women's issues and true crime issues. Yeah, she's an overall amazing creator that I haven't explored enough, and I need to work on fixing that.
Yeah, I'm aware of her, but I don't know if I've read anything.
Yeah, I've actually read some of her nonfiction.
Have you?
Well, I mean, she's both done like some compilations of stuff on female cartoonists. So you can read about the cartoonists and see old cartoon art. I mean, she's historic stuff, 20s, 30s female cartoonists. But also she did book on female killers, and that's the other one.
That's cool though.
That struck me as books that Kelly might like, so I picked them up, and I've not read them entirely, but I've read parts.
Yeah,
so
I'd be interested in the one on female killers.
Yeah. I know I downloaded it to my phone right after she died, so give me a second. I'll be able to tell you the title.
Sure.
But yeah, so we keep losing, and Trina was older than MD Bright, though MD Bright wasn't young either, so neither of them were particularly oh my God, we lost them too young. I mean, it's always a shame when you lose a creator, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Trina was at least semi-retired.
Yes.
Loading Kindle, blah blah blah. While we're waiting, this will be of interest to you. Jeff Lemire, announced that he'll be doing his next book at Boom.
Interesting.
He'll be writing and drawing, and calls it his biggest project since Sweet Tooth.
Wow.
So,
because Sweet Tooth
that will be interesting to follow. Titles and details haven't been announced. Tender Murderers, Women Who Kill, and Eternally Bad, Goddesses with Attitude are the two that I downloaded to my phone right after she died.
Okay.
Or right after it was announced that she died. So yeah. Feminist, cartoonist, just all-around amazing person, from everything I've heard. So
yeah.
So when shame to lose Trina Robbins,
for sure. When does Jeff's book at boom start? Do you know when it comes out?
I forget if they actually gave a month. I don't think it's before October.
Okay.
Again, they haven't announced titles or details yet. Jeff has just announced that he's doing a thing
Sure.
and that it will be at Boom
Yep.
and that he will be writing and drawing and that it will be
Biggest Sweet Tooth.
his longest piece since Sweet Tooth.
Okay. That's exciting.
So Sweet Tooth went what? 50 issues?
50, yeah.
Like that.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see what that winds up being myself. Though it does sound like it means that Royal City's getting backed up, which I've been looking forward to. Unless it turns out that the Royal City is done and he's jumping into it from there. We'll find out.
Probably done. I mean, he works a lot, so.
Yeah, but he's also put out a lot recently, so. And since he's drawing fish flies, he generally doesn't draw more than one book at a time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Fish Flies has been really good. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, but
I have been. So, really quick, couple pieces of like real news that I wanna bring to the forefront here.
Sure.
First is jury selection begins in Manhattan on the election interference trial going on in the state of New York. You may hear it called the hush money trial, and yes, there's hush money involved, but the hush money was about not letting it be heard in time for an election, and therefore it is an election interference trial. That is part of the
defense
reason that it was a crime.
Yeah, exactly.
But then the other thing, and you know, a number of us who work or have worked in dementia have been mentioning this since 2015.
Mm-hmm.
But Duty to Warn, which is a group put together by John Gartner,
okay,
who's a psychologist, and brings together a number of other doctors. Had thought that they were done after 2020, but of course, you know, the Donald didn't go away.
Yeah.
So, they're following from what they see of him.
Yep.
And you know, they focused more on his sociopathic tendencies 8 years ago. But with 8 years of evidence, they're much more concerned about the dementia that they see signs of. For that matter, one of the things that really catches Gartner's attention in the interview, and you can find the interview at both J. Quo's Status Quo and George Takei's Big Picture.
Okay.
It was published both places. You know, first he points out, and I can second this. You know, anytime they start talking about stuff like this, everybody will talk about, oh, but they haven't actually treated him. How can they make this diagnosis? Blah, blah, blah. In response to that type of question, Gartner said, I don't know if people know this, but in real life, in day-to-day clinical practice, we diagnose dementia based on behavioral observation and informant reports every day of the week. Thousands of medical charts would back me up on that. An interview with a demented person doesn't usually yield a lot of information for obvious reasons. As a professional community, thousands of us have observed hundreds of hours of Trump's public behavior. We also have dozens of informant reports. So all the people hyperventilating about diagnosing from a distance should take a breath. This is more business as usual than you might think. In real life, we've institutionalized tens of thousands of patients on far less data. The evidence for Trump's dementia is this: Trump shows an overall decline from his own cognitive baseline, with marked progressive deterioration in 4 areas: memory, ability to use language, behavior, and gross and fine motor skills. And then it details the specific stuff. Shows, eh, you know, significant decline in his speaking ability over the last 8 years, certainly over the last 20 years.
For sure.
It's become more repetitive. He doesn't speak at as high of a level, etc. Memory, they point out in big time that, forgetting names like Joe Biden, they go nuts every time. That is kind of normal aging, but it
Yes.
doesn't show a cognitive decline. Confusing Nikki Haley for Nancy Pelosi, thinking you're running against Barack Obama, not recognizing people you've known for years when you're in a room with them. That's a different thing.
Yes.
Language. He's got phonemic aphasia. Gives some examples. President Ulysses S. Grant for Ulysses Grant. Space Capsule for Space Capsule. Combat Infantrupum for combat infantry. Sovereign country instead of sovereign. Renoverse for renovations. Anonymous or anonymous for anonymous. Transpants for transplants. Law markers for lawmakers. Supply churn for supply chain. Russia for Russia. Radio for radio. Liberation for liberation. Beneficiaries for beneficiaries. Conducting for conducting. Statics statistics for statistics. Crimacle for criminal. Armed forciva for armed forces. Internate for internet. Transitia for transition. And sanctuary for sanctuary.
Wow.
And again, those are just from recorded interviews. He can't campaign. I would expel the waldmongers. I know Putin. What's more is it pops up in his typing. Joe Budden disinformates and misinformates.
Jeez.
Yeah. Tangential thinking. We can't have an election in the middle of a political season. We just had Super Tuesday, and we had a Tuesday after Tuesday already.
Just goes on and on.
It does. Motor performance. He's clearly having, he leans more. His gait is, and the erratic behavior. It's always been there, but it's like clearly worse. And then a few examples of just comments from from doctors and psychiatrists. How about that's just because people like it. We're going to go with the Harvard Medical School one.
Sure.
The evidence for dementia in Donald Trump has become overwhelming. Unlike normal aging, which is characterized by forgetting names or words, Trump repeatedly shows something very different: confusion about reality, says Lance Dodds, MD, Department of Psychology, Harvard Medical School. For that matter, we'll also go Dr. Michael Bader, and this is one that I started noticing a long time ago. This is not just rambling. Trump evidences a type of cognitive impairment seen in dementia. Symptoms like word salad, incoherence, loose associations, lack of connection between ideas, impairment of memory and language problems, mispronouncing words or making up words that don't exist. There's also been lots of signs of sundowning. You know, the later in the day it goes, the more he's so yeah. I just bring this up because there are so many people out there that are like, oh, I don't like either candidate. You know, you got Sleepy Joe or you got the Cheeto. And it's like, yeah, no, they're not the same.
No, exactly. I can't stand people who are like, I hate both of them. And I'm like, yeah, but one of them clearly is a sociopath.
They're not the same. You know, normal aging, yeah, you forget some details, but your cognitive skills, your abilities, that sort of thing are there. So you don't have the same stamina, but in general, you bring more to the table. There's a reason we've always revered elders in the history of the world,
Right?
right?
Yep.
Dementia's a whole different ballgame. Dementia of a sociopath. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's highlight some new to order comics.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see here. Big Burn.
You wanted to start with some distillery.
Yeah, I did. Big Burn, or The Big Burn from Joe Henderson and Lee Garbett. The new series debut from the Eisner-nominated creative team of Skyward. Owen and Carly are the Bonnie and Clyde of the 21st century, a smooth, slick duo who pull off impossible heists and have the time of their lives doing it. But when justice finally catches up to them, they think it's all over, until the devil himself offers them a deal. Their freedom for their very souls, but they find out soon that without their souls, their love is missing too. So they set out to recruit a crew of the damned for the ultimate heist, break into hell, and steal their souls back. Joe Henderson, Netflix's from Joe Henderson and Lee Garbett invite you on a thrilling journey to a hell you've never seen before, a place perfectly designed to give people hope so that the devil can torture them with it when he takes it away, again and again. That's right, hell is a casino, and even when the greatest team of thieves, the house always wins. Sounds awesome.
For fans of Ocean 11, Inception, Lucifer, and Out of Sight.
I love that combination, Ocean's 11 and Lucifer.
Yeah. Falling in Love on the Path to Hell from Jerry Duggan and Gary Brown. Massive double-length first issue of their groundbreaking new series. The sun set on samurai and gunslingers at roughly the same time, but our two leads didn't die off quietly. In the east, Asami, an Anamusha warrior and female samurai, would rather die with her weapons than surrender them to a sword hunt. In the west, the gunslinger McWraith follows his revenge to the bitter end and pays the ultimate price. The future lovers are mortally wounded on a world apart and awake together in purgatory ruled by a ruthless society of damned warriors. This one has it all. Action, the dead, the dying, the undead, and of course, romance.
I really love the cover. It gives me a Star Wars vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Falling in love. What's it called? Falling in love
on the road to hell.
On the path to hell.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Lawful #1 by Greg Pak and Diego Galindo. Magical meets modern in a walled city with strangely familiar architecture where two small children with a sense of adventure get a grim reminder of reality. Because every mistake one makes in this world will cause them to transform into a monster, bit by bit, and in the eyes of society, there's no distinction between the rules and what's right. Imperfection breeds monstrous consequences in this urban fantasy adventure with deep social commentary from renowned and award-winning writer Greg Pak and acclaimed artist Diego Galindo.
Yeah, I love, and I'm more aware of it as I play more, and we're doing Die right now. I love how much people are really leaning into their RPG experience to tell stories that seem to stem from there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Rifters from Brian Posehn, Joe Troman, and Chris Johnson. So here's the thing. We've seen Posehn, we've seen Troman, we've always seen them with comics writers with them.
Yeah.
This time they're going it alone, so we'll see, but this looks really cool, so I'm going to assume.
Yeah.
Please saran wrap your ass because you're about to projectile shit yourself right into the world of Rifters, where a time cop collides with law and order filtered through stupid McSmarts-a-lot Einstein lens of Mr. Show. Fenton and Geller are a couple of part-time Weisenheimers, full-time vice time cops. Oh, full-time vice time cops who suck at rule following but excel at busting time travel crimes. Unfortunately, their daily grind involves tedious police work, like chasing down douchebag influencers hell-bent on live streaming illegal transtemporal trips to 1920s Chicago to steal primo bootleg hooch. However, in a twist of fate, our heroes find themselves thrust into the heart of an inter-time serial homicide mystery, but not before things change, forcing our pair into the crosshairs of potentially lethal consequences. The stakes are high, time is of the essence, and Fenton and Geller are about to discover that playing with the time stream isn't all flappers and jazz hands. Get ready for a high-octane double illegal adventure where the only sure thing is that Rifters is rewriting the rulebook on time travel tales.
That sounds really cool. I mean, I love Brian
does.
Posehn. I think his humor is just amazing.
Well, and Joe Truman's one of the guys that's doing the Holy Rollers.
Yep. With
So
Rick
I mean, they
Remender
both
and
have
Andy
experience
Samberg.
doing great comic books.
Yep.
I forget Joe Truman. Isn't he in a band?
That I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it.
Yes, he is. The lead guitarist and backing vocalist of Fall Out Boy.
Oh, okay. Not
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
I'm not really a big fan, but
Not a huge fan either, but yeah, pretty big band.
exactly. Very big, well-known band.
So, alrighty.
All right, this is next one up is mine. This is Heavyweight, a family story of Holocaust Empire memory, from Solomon
Empire
Brager.
and memory. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was it? A family story of Holocaust Empire and memory, from Solomon Brager, doing the writing and the art.
Yep.
Solomon Brager grew up with accounts of their great-grandparents' escape from Nazi Germany, told over and over until their understanding of self was bound up with the heroic details of their ancestors' exploits. Their great-grandmother related how her husband, a boxing champion, thrashed Joseph Goebbels and cleared beer halls of Nazis with his fists, how she broke him out of an internment camp and carried their children over the Pyrenees Mountains. Pyrenees. But that story was never the whole picture. Zooming out, everything becomes more complicated. Heavyweights asks us to consider how the patterns of history emerge and reverberate, not as a simple chain of events, but in haunting layers. Confronting the specters of violence as both historian and descendant, this book is an exploration of family mythology, intergenerational memory, and the mark of the past that makes on the mark the past makes on the present.
Yeah, this one looks cool.
Yeah, very cool.
This one looks cool. Of her own design at Maverick and Mad Cave keep doing cool stuff. Bertie Willis, Nicole Andelfinger, and Jess Taylor. Bree Page has been struggling with writer's block. Her parents that constantly fight, and her former best friend, current bully Viv Kinsley, and the gorgeous new girl Kay Artinger are causing a bit of stress. An unexpected encounter with a mischievous bookseller, Ambrose Chance, gives Bree the extraordinary ability to go beyond her problems and bury them deep in new stories. When her worlds come to life, it's up to her to save her town and her family, if only she could write an ending. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. I really like the cover to this one. It's really kind of a...
Looks like a fun YA book.
Mm-hmm. What's up next?
This one's me too.
Yep.
Fantagraphics Underground presents Ready America from Anna Hayfish. Dogs in colorful sweatshirts, the glowing signs of Vietnamese fast food restaurant, solitary palm trees above the pavement. Ready America takes us on a ride through a both strangely familiar and quite alien Los Angeles. Packaging inscriptions, neon signs, and billboards fuse into an appealing typographic montage while familiar American icons peek out between stores and offices, clinics and morgues. With their unmistakable wit, Anna Hayfish highlights the idiosyncrasies of a country in which catastrophes seem just as ordinary as the sight of a coyote in the Hollywood Hills.
I like again, I keep sounding like a broken record, but I like the cover a lot.
I mean, we only get to see the covers.
Yeah, that's true. It's very simplistic.
Yeah.
But
Well, and like half a Denny's sign.
yep, I like it.
You know, that's I can't tell you exactly what the like flag thing is, but I feel like that's from a gas
I
station.
was gonna say that's a convenience store, gas station,
Yeah,
Freedom maybe. I don't know if you
yeah,
have Freedom stations by
yeah,
you.
that sounds right. And then just like leaning into the UPC code.
Yeah, it's just huge, huge
Well,
on the
I mean,
cover.
it's if you're Signs of America.
Mm-hmm. Was this one mine?
Yep.
Sainted Love from Steve Orlando and Geopata. New York City, 1907, Malcolm Irena is the greatest inventor the world's never heard of, and his lover, John Wolfe, is the toughest bare knuckle boxer in the city. Irena's newest invention, the Chrono Corridor, is nearly complete. He dreams of whisking himself and Wolfe away to a time when they can live and love freely. But when crazed Detective Felt raids Irena's lab, the couple dives into the freshly powered up portal to escape capture. Steve Orlando and Geopata hurl you across time with Irena and Wolf as they encounter famous queer people throughout history and fight back against all who would see their names and love erased. I just think this sounds like a really great story. I like the title,
Yeah.
Sainted Love.
Yeah.
When I don't know if you watch American Horror Story, probably not. You're not a
Not really.
not really. Well, there is a New York City themed season right now about the gay scene in the 1980s. So this is very
Okay.
apropos of what I'm watching literally right now on TV. So
Gotcha. Gotcha. Though this started in 1907,
true,
so I mean,
true,
different
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 eras.
period.
Yep, same city.
Yeah. I just realized I forgot to open up your next one, but I'm
Oh,
next.
okay.
So, all right. Friday, Book 3, Ed Brubaker, Marcos Martin, Monza Vincente. Yellow Jacket meets chilling adventures of Sabrina in the third and final volume of this genre-defying older YA masterpiece trilogy from two of comics' most acclaimed talents. Friday Fitzhugh has been sent back to the night she first arrived in King's Hill. But the question is, why? To save Lancelot Jones, the smartest boy in the world, or to have to watch him die yet again? Is she traveling in time or caught in a time loop? And what is the White Lady's secret plan for their town back in the present time? All will be revealed in the stunning final chapter of this post YA masterpiece. And I love this book.
Mm-hmm.
It's like way up there in my favorite Brubaker books. And since Brubaker and Phillips do among my favorite comic books ever, that's a yeah.
This one is by Jacques. This is
Oh, I've
Gone
been enjoying this one.
on Distillery. On an impoverished and distant planet where menial workers scratch out a living resupplying starships, the best place to be is gone. And that's exactly where 13-year-old Abby wants to be. Abby stows away on a colossal luxury space liner for a chance to have a better life. When
Peace.
when
13-year-old Abby wants to be.
yeah, when Abby suddenly finds herself branded a saboteur as she desperately struggles to evade the ship's deadly crew and to stay alive. Beautifully written and drawn by Jacques, Eisner Award-winning artist of Snow Angels and Batman One Dark Knight, Gone is an action-packed sci-fi adventure where a young heroine confronts betrayal, discovers her true allies, and fights against all odds to discover that nothing is farther away than home. I love it.
Very cool.
It looks really
Distillery's just done such good work. This story's amazing.
cool. Yeah, I have not read it, but I'm really excited for it.
Fantagraphics Underground presents Kate Carew, America's first great woman cartoonist. Kate Carew was America's first great woman cartoonist, drawing for newspapers in the first 2 decades of the 20th century. She drew Sunday color comics alongside George Harriman, but it was in the idiom of freestanding caricature that she made her mark. She interviewed and sketched many of the famous celebrities of her time, including the Wright brothers, who built and flew the world's first successful airplane, Marconi, who invented wireless radio, Picasso, the famous painter of the 20th century, the world champion African American heavyweight boxer Jack Johnson, and the leading figures of the suffragette movements in the years before women won the right to vote in the UK 1918 and the US 1920. Her most enduring achievement was her cartoon alter ego, Aunt Kate, whom she sketched into the proceedings, turning graphic reportage into her personal adventure from San Francisco to and New York to London and Paris. And that's going to be with writing from Eddie Campbell. So I am definitely looking forward to this.
Yeah, that looks really awesome.
As I love getting to know old cartoonists,
Mm-hmm.
and Eddie has such a great eye for that sort of thing.
All right, and last but not least, Slain from Pat Mills and Simon Bisley. Slain, the Horned God, returns to print in a massively oversized edition just in time for the 35th anniversary of the groundbreaking and industry-altering story written by the character's co-creator, Pat Mills, and featuring fully painted art the likes of which had never before seen in the pages of 2000 AD. The Horned God is a definitive Slain storyline. This anniversary edition has been rescanned from the original film and printed at a size more closely matches the actual artwork. So now you can become fully entranced by the art and story of the greatest Slain epic.
I've been reading this for a while because it was going to be a 2000 AD book club.
Yep.
But John and I have had trouble managing to work out time to talk about it, and like this is definitely like early influence of what Liam Sharp did with Starhenge and that sort of thing. You know, some like seriously painted sword and sorcery type artwork.
Right.
It's just really cool.
I like that painted style though a lot.
Yeah, I do too. Particularly when they don't let it's too easy when you're doing the painted style to just do beautiful paintings rather than still having the acting and
they can become
the
like
page layouts and the what you know. When you do both, it gets really, really impressive.
It does, because it can get pretty static if you're just doing
right.
Who's the I'm gonna get a lot of criticism here, but who's the Kingdom Come guy? With
Alex Ross.
Alex Ross. Yep.
Yeah.
So his style, while awesome,
we've talked about it before. We adore his covers
Yep.
and go back and forth on his interior art.
Yep.
I mean, he can do great interior art. I mean, I loved his Fantastic Four Full Circle, but he didn't do his full-on painting inside.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
And there were parts of Marvels in particular that like he knocked out of the park.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to bash Alex Ross.
No, I'm not at all. I'm not. I love his work.
But you know, doing great painting and doing great sequences are two different things. You know. For that matter, doing great painting and doing a range of emotions and body language are different things, you know. So yeah. So final order cutoff this week: Death Ratioed from Mark Russell and Lacey at AWA. One shot, kind of. Reminded me a little bit of Crowded. It's like the reality TV show death thing. But you really don't need to know anything about it. It's Mark Russell. Go buy it. Right?
Exactly. Sorry, I was reading something.
No, that's fine.
No, you're right. Exactly. Go buy it.
Crowdfunding right now. We've got Who Killed Nessie from Paul Cornell and Rachel Smith through April 29th. It's kind of a YA cryptid mystery. Ringsby, Wisconsin from SE Case at Iron Circuit at Backer Kit through 5/2. I think Who Killed Nessie was at Zoop, I'm pretty certain. Ringsby, Wisconsin's a webcomic about essentially growing up in the, I think, late 90s, early 2000s in Wisconsin. So yeah, it's a cool one. I am the comic book walk. Cecil Castellucci. She's gonna be having a slew of artists draw temporary tattoo 3-panel comics that she will wear on her arm and walk with. yeah, it's kind of a comic slash performance art project, and I love Cecil Castellucci, so I am excited.
Yeah.
That's on Kickstarter through May 2nd. Comics Are Dying, the comic from Lewis Southard and over 100 artists is Zoop through May 3rd. Essentially, this is playing off the people have talked about comics being dying since like the early 1900s. Comic strips were dying before we even had comic books.
Exactly.
Comic books have been dying for as long as anybody can remember. Um, so he decided to write about it, and like 100 different artists providing a page apiece. So that looks fascinating to me.
I think it's gonna look
Northwest, Northwest Museum of Cartoon Arts is crowdfunding their first pop-up exhibit, which will be about cartooning in the Pacific Northwest. And we know that there's a heck of a lot of creators up in Portland that we love. So that's kickstarting through May 7th. Writer's Block 2006 remastered. David Miller, Peter David, Gail Simone, Fabian Nicasa. Essentially, David Miller wrote a story with no words drew a story with no words, and Peter David, Gail Simone, and Fabian Nicasa each contributed words, and they all got printed in the comic, so you could see how three different writers took the same art and did different things with them. Redoing the inking, adding color, and releasing Kickstarter through May 8th. The Fury, the Maelstrom, and the Kiwi, which is a revenge tale from M.H. Callie, Elsa Chartier, Leanna Kangas, Skylar Partridge, Allison Sampson, and more. Fundraising on Zoop through May 9th. One of our favorites, the 2024 Insert Name Comics and Zine Festival from Ryan Carey and Emily Mayer. John Porcelino and our friends Lillian Generoso will both be in attendance, or all be in attendance. It's kickstarting through May 31st. If you want to help make that come to life in Minneapolis. And then Junior Daddy issues number 2 to 5. The first issue was from artist Marcus Kwame Anderson. James III has Tim Gethers and Jess Havoc doing issue 2. Paris Aileen doing issue 3. Noel Kelly doing issue 4. And Jamal Eagle with Juan Castro doing issue 5. William Demerit will be editing for Rule of 3 Comics on Kickstarter through June 9th. So, Tyler, what'd you love this week?
Oh, man. You're gonna kind of laugh because I have 2 Marvel books, and the reason I did this is because
they're 2 very different Marvel books.
Yeah, the original books that I had read that I was gonna put on the list, you have on your list.
Oh, okay.
And
fair.
I'm like, I kind of wanted to try to keep it different, so we cover as many.
Keep doing 6 new books.
Trying to, yeah. Sometimes that's not easy, but anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, frankly, I give you credit for this week not having my top 2 as your top 2.
I've tried, but the
I beat you to it, damn it!
Yeah, the Ultimate X-Men number 2 from Peach Momoko. This is a kind of a Storm character. It's a new character named May Storm. Her name is May, Mei, and it takes place in Japan.
Okay.
And I'm not sure where this is going because she looks like Storm. She's a young teenage girl with cool white-haired punk rocking looking mohawk, and so it's definitely a Storm looking character. It's even named May Storm.
Right.
But we'll see how it goes. I mean, this is the alternate universe, so
right.
What Momoko seems to be doing is doing one character per issue, and I'm hoping that after a few issues she ties them all together, because right now they feel like standalone issues. My second one was Ryan North's Fantastic Four number 19. This one was penciled by Carlos Gomez. Again, kind of with the Storm theme. This one's about Susan Storm. Yeah, it was just a great book. I really love Ryan North's storytelling. Ryan North. It's just awesome. And then my third pick is the Napalm Lullaby number 2 from Rick Remender and Bengal. on Image. Did you read Napalm Lullaby this week?
It's the one that I haven't gotten to yet.
Okay. Won't spoil anything for you, but it's awesome.
Yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
I know.
number
I wanted this.
5.
This was my number one, and I purposely left it off.
This was good enough that it would have been completely justifiable for it to be both our number ones. So good. As was Uncanny Valley number 1 from Tony Fleeks and Doug Wachter, which I mean, we talked to Tony about this, and been excited for it since we talked to him, and it was worth it. Totally worth the wait. And I actually not only read a Spawn book because of Erica Schultz, it made my top 3.
I almost this was my number 2. Rat City.
Yeah. Rat City number 1 from Erica Schultz and Zay Carlos was fantastic. It was really an amazing book. I'm officially reading a Spawn book, and there's a G.I. Joe book in my future. What has the world come to?
That's awesome. All right.
Okay. Young Tyler and Tad, you need to shut up because we're here from the future to do our great responsibility. And I'm so happy that Tyler, as well as being a sound engineer, is a quantum physicist and was able to figure out this whole time travel thing.
Yes, we're back.
We wouldn't want to do anything dumb like edit our episodes. We record live.
We just time travel to meet with different people.
That's right. We time travel. We don't record and cut and paste. We time travel. This is a comic book podcast. We use comic book solutions. So how's it going, old Tyler?
I'm doing good. Since when I saw you last, let's see here. I did a lot today. What have you been up to?
Well, I mean, you can when you time travel.
I could do it.
Since you saw him last 20 years ago?
20 years ago.
Yeah. No, we're not recording from that far in the future, Phil.
Yeah.
There you go.
But anyway, we got Peter and Phil here. How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty good.
Going pretty well. Got back from mini golf. Time travel mini golf, apparently.
Time travel
Well,
mini golf.
that's
That
That's
sounds like a
time
great
travel to
game.
mini golf. But
There you
time
go.
travel mini golf would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was
Tyler, that's the next thing we're gonna have
there
to
was
do
Dark
with your time-
Life. It felt
with
like
your
time
time
travel
travel.
mini golf.
is figure out how to do time travel mini golf.
Okay.
Where, like, you get to hole 7 and you have to get the ball into the hole yesterday.
Oh, that would be cool. So you got to go through a wormhole.
There you go.
So you got to go through a
Something like
wormhole to get there.
Yeah. I like this idea.
And then on the last hole, if you get your ball in one shot, then then it travels ahead to the next time you play. So you get a free game next.
Okay. Yeah,
Wow.
that makes sense. But what happens if you play like multiple times? And I mean, that would be easy to mess up. And suddenly you show up at the place and you've got like 5 balls to play with.
The
Oh, yeah.
technical part of me just thought of the what we were talking about with you need to shoot into the hole yesterday, and I was like, okay, so what you're saying is there's no hole today, and you just have to somehow go
No,
into
it's
your
there,
time.
but somebody else's ball is headed towards it.
No. New canon, it's not there at all.
New
You
canon.
just have to go into the past to get it. Otherwise, you cannot make the
Yeah,
shot.
that could work. That could work too. I could go for that. Or even we don't tell you what day the hole was there. See this granite wall? One day in the indeterminate past, it wasn't there and there was a hole. You need to do appropriate time travel
All right.
to
So
get to that hole.
listeners, you need a doctorate in advanced physics,
Quantum mechanics.
quantum mechanics, theoretical physics,
and maybe a TARDIS.
and maybe a TARDIS. That would help. That would help ease things.
Or the ships from Time Before Time.
Yeah.
And
That's pretty cool.
in lieu of all that, just read enough Grant Morrison comics and you'll find out how.
But I think we'll just wind up being able to time shift. So Phil, since you've traveled back in
Yes.
time with us, you
With a
wanna
perilous warning.
add
Oh.
one to our Kickstarters.
I made it in time to
I
offer
mean,
a cry
only
for
kind
support.
of, because I mean, we
Only
did talk
barely.
about our amazing
Whew.
books, so it's going to be slightly out
Yeah.
of order. But
It's a little out of order, but
doing that
right.
precision time travel to go 20 more minutes or 5 more, it's just weird.
It's not worth it. I could have ended up a week back. But
Or we
right
could
now
have
on
cut you in
Kickstarter,
half on accident, and that would have been just.
putting me back together is the impossible part.
And hey,
But yeah, on
that happened in this week's or last week's issue of Deadpool, where he got cut in
oh,
half,
there you go.
by going through a portal.
See,
Wow.
see,
It happened.
well, and one of our party and die lost an arm when they came back
Yep.
to the real world. So I mean,
Hmm.
got to be careful with this precision time travel.
Which
Yeah.
brings
But
up
was
what we're
that-
going to probably talk about in this, because she's got some arm issues in this chapter too.
Hmm. Armed deliberations. But real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to Zach Quaintance. He's got a Kickstarter for the Death of Comics Bookcase Volume 1 right now. It's got art by Nick Cagnetti, PJ Holden, Luke Horsman, Ryan Lee, Anna Reedman, and Pat Scott. 6 perilous tales in a variety of genres. The good news is that the Kickstarter is funded and the art is complete. So this is basically pre-ordering at this point. I was just trying to offer some help because the needle had kind of stalled out, and just trying to get it out to as many people as possible. Anyone who might be interested, whatever we can do to bump it up a little bit. That's what we're here for.
That's awesome. I'm checking it out right now.
Oh yeah. I think the one that looks most interesting to me is there's a story about a teenager who gets bitten by a radioactive AI, and he ends up in a suit that looks like Spider-Man fused with Clippy.
Okay.
So that's certainly
Can you spell Zach's
hilariously intriguing.
Can you spell Zach's last
Yeah,
name?
it is QUAINTANCE.
Okay. Looking. There it is. Cool. Cool. So yeah, that is going to be one of our other Kickstarters. We've already talked about a whole bunch this morning. Tad, today's list was actually longer than usual.
I know, because
nice.
because I didn't just do ones that I've backed. I went through and found ones that I'm thinking about too.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Because I
Awesome.
felt bad for having so few last week.
Yeah.
Because all the ones that I'd backed had come to term.
They were all done.
So, but the talk of limbs plays right into like the first chapter of the book,
Mhm.
where
What's her
which
name?
character is this?
Angela. Angela Ash.
Angela has to go rework a deal, or try to rework a deal, and she makes the horrible decision to get rid of the dog because she needs the power, but in like true role-playing form, and like the thing that will kill me sometimes when role-playing, she makes this decision that has all of this energy put into it, and they're like, okay, now we flip the coin. No, we won't do that. And it's like, oh.
Oh yeah.
You know,
This is definitely a series that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, on the outside of Die, she's a coder. I wonder how difficult that was to do that one-armed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that was one thing I was amused by when said, "Well, how do you do that?" Very slowly, and someone who recently learned to code, turns out the slower you go, the fewer mistakes you make. So it might be a blessing in disguise.
That is a bonus sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is her role in Die again, Angela's?
She is a Neo. So that's the 10-sided die is
Yep.
the one that she got.
Yep.
The interesting part there being
Got
that
magic, but like a finite amount of it each day.
Mhm.
Well, sorry, I forgot the author's name. In his
Mhm.
later scribings, he does mention that that essentially the Neo is the rogue archetype. So
Right.
your sneaky person who can kind of get through barriers without, having to fight, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Just where there's a reference to barking or,
of this
sneaking in games.
what kind of gold is it?
Fair gold.
Fair gold.
Yeah,
Fair
Yeah.
gold.
fair
That's
gold.
right.
She needs X amount of fair gold a day to keep things going, and more than that to be able to do things. And it all goes away at the end of the day, and they have to start over. So that's the other thing going on in this issue is that they're desperately trying to get the gold every day and not getting it, in part because she won't get rid of the dog.
Yeah. They're stuck with getting like 7 gold when for what they really want, they need 10. And
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, what I thought was interesting is that like at first glance, it's one of those. Well, what's a sci-fi like character doing in a fantasy setting?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and I think part of that that's especially interesting is that in some of the back matter, Gillen talks about how the different various shapes for dice have been around for a long part of human history. Like the ancient Egyptians had a D20.
Oh wow.
And so the D10 is the most
How they
modern
pick
and
their
new.
pharaohs.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I don't know.
Oh, I see. That's me being gullible.
Hey, Phil, I believed him too. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I didn't even hear him, to be perfectly honest. He's
I
like
said
I
that's
think-
how they picked their pharaohs.
That's how they
I
picked the
think-
pharaohs.
I think that that makes you our dictator, Tad.
Does that mean that everybody who wanted to be a pharaoh just rolled the D10 and figured out,
The D20.
or
the D20.
or did they have 10 pharaohs options and just roll it?
They had no, because it was D20. So
Oh,
Yeah.
D20, sorry. Apologies.
So however many people wanted to be pharaohs, they broke them up into groups of 20, and they
This is how we should do
give
the
them each
presidency.
a number. They give them
Oh,
each a
gosh.
number, and
And
they
this is
roll the
how we
die,
get crunchy
and
role-playing
the one
games.
person would move on, and when it got to the point where there were less than 20 people left, they would assign numbers. They have like a draft. to pick their number.
Believe it or not, that's how my wife and I decided what to get for dinner the other night. Was a bunch list of restaurants and rolled a D12. So
There you go.
it gets results.
No, what I was
Did you
gonna
also
say is
order off the menu using the dice?
Oh,
'Cause
there you
that would be full on shell.
what they
Bring it-
should have done
bring it
is
to
just
the
have
restaurant.
every pharaoh just roll a D20, and then anybody who got a 20 was allowed to go on the next round, and everybody else wasn't. And
Okay,
then
that
just had
works
them
too.
keep doing that until
There you
only
go.
one person was left.
Right. What if you have a round where nobody rolls a D20? You just kill
Then
them
they
all?
all get to go on to the next round.
I think it'd be cooler if you just
Too
killed them all
generous.
and you had to start over.
Or you could just say that whoever has the highest gets to go on the next round. I mean, the
Yeah,
20
yeah.
was just mostly supposing there was like 1,000 people who wanted to be pharaoh.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You got
There's
a
so
large
many
team.
options. So many options.
In any case, I think so that just seeing the how they do the the fair or the fairies, so to speak, that are the ones that Angela deals with. That was kind of a moment where, one thing that I love about Kieran Gillen's writing in general is that he has plans within plans and reveals behind reveals.
Yep.
And so that was, immediately after the shocking conclusion of the previous issue, the start of the next arc is already, oh wow, here's another additional facet that you might not have expected and is more than you bargained for. So that's something that definitely keeps
Yeah.
up.
And I wasn't here last week, but already, I know it's still sort of fantasy, but they already, when they had the whole episode in last week where they were talking about Tolkien, or an issue in the first volume, they had already sort of stepped out of, your classical medieval fantasy, because a lot of things up to that point kind of filled that whole D&D sort of void where you were fighting, monsters of a sort. You had some powers, but nothing really fell out of what could, in our imaginations, fall into medieval, thought process is right.
Mhm.
But then all of a sudden you have this war, which doesn't feel like a medieval war. It doesn't feel like knights are running around swinging swords, or even that there are spellcasters shooting fireballs or things like that. But you had, and again, sorry to take us back to, volume one, you had this
Mhm.
whole war that felt more like a more modern war.
Right.
So we had a little bit of a
Mhm.
taste of that. And now we've gone
Yeah.
from a taste of like, not only is it like, this mix of that, but this mix of future too with the fair. Like, and I
Mhm.
think that's kind of what you're getting at is like there's a little bit of this. We're now starting to see what it means to have 20 sides of this dice, which is
Mhm.
kind of what he's been irking at a little bit, like all through, but now we see there's even more to it. And we see more of that coming out.
Mhm.
Um,
Which speak. Oh, sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
you go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, speaking of that, I, first time reading the series, did not expect how heavy the Brontes played into it. That was something that I wasn't aware of at all.
Well,
Um,
and neither did he.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you read the
Yeah,
back matter
that was
here.
true.
He they're the ones that he wound up having to go research when he
Hmm.
discovered, oh my God, oh yeah, no, I got to learn about
Hmm.
this.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean that's one thing, Tad, in your reading, did you ever find out like well, one thing I wanted to try to figure out is if Zamorna is a Bronte character or not.
Yes, I think
Yes?
I believe so.
I
Not
believe so.
Okay.
I mean, it seems referenced in the comic that he's the character of I don't remember which Bronte it was that we
Hmm.
met in this.
Anne,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was
or is it
character
Charlotte?
of hers.
Let me
Um,
see. I'm flipping through it right now.
yeah. So yeah, no, I'm having not known the Brontes work all that much, and just delving into this volume two. I'm super
Hmm.
curious on where that goes just in the story arc, and especially
I
reading his end because at this point in his notes at the back, he hasn't
Hmm.
even mentioned or like what he said is, yeah, I'm surprised that I had like even add this in, like what Tad was saying. But he also mentioned I've sort of like given this little hint that there's like war between these four siblings,
Right.
but I don't know if we're ever gonna really address that. So I'm already kind of like, oh, are they going to address that? That would be kind of interesting to
Hmm.
see like further on. I see Tad smiling and
I am actually smiling at something else.
Uh-huh. So quick, that was actually Charlotte. Charlotte was the
Charlotte.
jailer that they ran into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charlotte. Okay.
Hmm. I had to double check. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, it's pretty obvious there's a war of some sort coming
I
at this point.
mean, even like from the beginning of this whole second volume, there was a
Mhm.
war at some point, some
Hmm.
sort of,
Mhm.
but it's really sort of shifted even because we
Mhm.
thought there was going to be a war between Ash and or both the Ashes and
Mhm.
I really should remember
Izzy
all
and Chuck.
the yeah, Izzy and Chuck.
Yeah.
Thank you. Um, and that has now seemed to sort of gotten flipped on its head to the point where there's more going on, and I'm even kind of questioning if any of them are going to be sort of allies at the end of this,
Mhm.
because it seems like they're slowly having their own ideas of hey, like this is actually what I want, and hey, this is actually what I want, and like maybe they all kind of want to go home and maybe they don't. And like, um, Angela specifically is one of those weird cases where it's like she wants to go home to see her kids, and also at the same time, it's like you keep talking about all the miserable things at home, and I'm just wondering if you're gonna swap sides at some point, or if you actually are just gonna stick to no, I need to get home to like take care of my kids.
I was going to ask y'all, speaking of shifting, I was wondering if who were your favorite characters going into the volume versus coming out of the volume that had changed at all, or what your sense was with attachment to each of these characters.
Well, Soul was my favorite going in and coming out. I just love how it's
Mhm.
gone through, um, him being the dictator to him being their captive. I don't know. It's just really, really interesting.
And in this case, you mean dictator as in game master,
Yeah.
ruler of the world.
Mhm.
Or yeah, no, he wasn't the dictator. Ash was. Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
dictator
Grandmaster.
is Ash.
I just said it backwards. But yeah,
No, you're
Grandmaster.
perfectly fine. I just
There's
I got
a
where
lot
you
of
were
moving
coming from.
pieces.
I just wanted to make sure I was
Yeah.
clear.
No, there is a lot of moving pieces for sure.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like in real D&D, like the whole there's a game master, they run the game. Only in this one, the game master is actually represented by somebody.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Interesting.
and I like Solomon because he created Die. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Theoretically.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's my favorite. And I still a favorite. Um, obviously Ash is cool.
I like all the characters to some extent, mostly because they're just played out pretty well. I mean, what's absolutely true about Saul, and we haven't gotten much of Saul's story. Like,
Nope.
we got a little bit of everybody else in the party, but not Saul. Um,
Mhm.
what I like about it is, yeah, he did create this world, and it's kind of like you're kind of itching at why did he do this? And
Exactly.
like,
It's just like a mind bending thing where I'm like, why? What's happening here?
I mean, he did mention that he did it for Ash, but we don't really know what that means yet.
That's true.
Have
Chad, are you? Oh, sorry.
the Ash is male in the real world and female here. We discover that Ash had a child here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so there's lots of layers going on of possibility there. Um,
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing seems kind of traumatic, in a lot of ways, no matter how you cut it.
what'd you think of the knights
Mhm.
and the different knights for each emotion?
I think the best part about my nights, and this is just my opinion, is what he said about happy nights, which is
Mhm.
Nice.
essentially for there to be happy nights, they have to enjoy killing. Otherwise, they're
Yes.
never gonna have
Mhm.
power. I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
Right.
well, yeah, that makes you just essentially you take something that sounds like, oh, doesn't this sound nice? It's like, no.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite things about the Knights is that, it's a great way to hide 8 different classes in one. And
True.
it's a huge draw for getting you from reading the comic to playing the game because, it's one of those where, oh, with Matt being the central grief knight, it's one of those where you're like, okay, well, we get glimpses at, like you said, the Joy Knights, and other aspects, but to really explore everything that archetype has to offer, you need to play the game, which is, one thing that's great in that. I I was just saying to my wife earlier today how, the story already is fantastic and great, but the fact that he went the extra mile to make a game for people to play based on that story takes it to just an epic
Another
level.
level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Cool. Well, does anyone else have any thoughts on this volume that we want to go down? Tad, I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Are you muted, Ted?
Tad, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I like the depth into the Brontes. I like some of the twists
For sure.
when people aren't necessarily pairing off in the directions that we think they will.
Well, I like the fact that the twists are even that, they paired off in a direction and now they've kind of repaired again. You would kind of expect that, like, even in a role-playing group, there generally tend to be cliques, people who, work more together, like at least during a game, and then other groups that work more together, like, um, for one that I can relate to in a brand, my parents, my dad and my stepmom, uh, they always seem to be sort of together, and that's sort of how they are in real life, and so I think that's just sort of their comfort zone. But I like, Flip and like the first campaign that Tad was in that I ran, he completely ran around or like bonded with my uncle Adam at the same time over it. And then, that was its own clique in itself. Um,
Mhm.
but most of the time when you have a clique in a game, it doesn't, I haven't seen it reshape a lot. So it's kind of an interesting, like, even development for something that you might see in a game to see that sort of initially shape. Two people believe that they should stay in world, three believe they should return home, and then reshape again based off of, well, we're still sort of figuring that out, but some different alignment, right?
Mhm.
Um,
I don't know what I would do. I'd probably want to stay and die. I think I think it's a chance at a brand new life. You know what I
Raina
mean?
behind.
No, I'd bring her along,
And put her at risk.
I'd put her at risk.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always fantasy worlds are interesting because like it's easy to like get caught up on and think about, oh, it'd be super cool to be there and
Yep.
go there. And one of the things that I have a cousin and I play games with him and we will play all sorts of fantasy RPGs together. One thing that he said is, yeah, I would never want to live in any of these worlds because you step outside town and then all of a sudden you're viable to get killed.
Yes.
It's
Mhm.
not even a question. So if you just happen to be one of those lucky few adventurers, somebody who was like, you know, uh, one of these people we see and die, that's great. And in theory, if that's how everybody comes to this world, then yeah, I could see why you might be interested in living there to some extent. Though I also see the flip side, which is the whole first issue of this arc is literally them trying to get resources for a month to get out of there.
Mhm.
Yep.
In
Yeah.
the most barren of barren places.
Right.
Mhm.
That was the second issue, another one where they were trying to get out of a place and had
Mhm.
to do some real finagling. And I mean, we have Mr. Swoll, this god, who was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll help you punish your friend. Great. I might even do it for free.
Right.
Not have
Except
to, you don't have to trade me anything for it. And it's like, yeah, when you can make deals with gods and, not have any sort of like, when the repercussions of a full deal can be made and you just did not think out what you were saying.
Right.
Like it's a whole different level of dangerous. And I mean, like,
Right.
going to visit sounds entertaining, but again, similar thoughts. Like you're going to visit this world where you could say something or do something and like come back home without an arm, which
Hmm.
Did anybody notice that, like, the fortress that the knight goes to is Groot?
is what?
Groot? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
A
a
little bit.
giant tent
Wow. So,
hidden
listeners, we're looking at a panel in the volume that the fortress does look like
I
Groot
think
quite
this
a
is
bit.
an issue
It's eight. Issue
issue.
eight.
8.
Is it 8?
Hmm.
Okay.
Issue 8.
Fitting that the knights wield the eight-sided die.
Yeah.
I mean, it does look like Groot. What I don't know about it, and I'm just gonna state this out, is I don't know if it's made of wood or stone.
I
Sure.
think it's made of
That's fair. That's
stone,
fair.
but
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it looks like Groot.
Stone Groot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Big stone Groot.
It's
It
fun.
definitely looks very empty. Yes.
Empty.
Which another thing, just so that we say something about the art in here is
Yes.
that I love how diverse Stephanie Hans's style gets. I mean, I think you see the most of that in the Bronte history issue, where it seems to go back and forth between a painterly style and a more line heavy style, like a more traditional comics looking style.
Yeah.
And
What do you like
that's
better?
one thing that I mean, it honestly, I love the combination.
Uh-huh.
I love having the two styles juxtaposed next to each other on the page, and I think that gets us something that we wouldn't see out of just using one or the other.
Yeah.
And the
Bef-
way that she uses it is so good.
Before Tad and I time traveled, we were talking
Hmm.
about painterly style and how sometimes it can be static in the way
Hmm.
in not being able to convey action and emotion
Hmm.
sometimes. And I think she does a great job
Oh yeah, and
of
Well,
it.
and for me, one of the things that the painters often have the most, and is another place where she does a great job.
Mhm.
One of the places the painters have the most trouble is in page layout. They
Mhm.
get so caught up in making their painting that they forget that they're telling a story.
Mhm.
Yep.
So these great splash pages, but not like
Oh,
I think she does have the really strong storytelling chops.
oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, it's one of those where I've seen that on some people who are more of a cover artist than an interior artist, or
Which
one of the
she
styles
is.
that, yeah, she's both, and that's one thing that's so incredible. But one style that I've seen done by a few different artists that kind of bugs me is when it feels like there's one big panel on the page that takes up like 70% and then just a few others tacked on top of it. And
Right,
it's one of those where I'm like, this doesn't feel like comics anymore. But
right.
I think that with this, there's the variety of layouts. Um, One thing that's great is that there's mostly 5 panel pages, and that keeps the layouts from getting too static. Not that there's anything wrong with the grid, just that you know keeping things shifting, that works with her style, especially with her use of color. I read just a bit of the back matter how she would often pick limited palettes for different scenes and issues, and really emphasize that in various ways. And just flipping through pages really quickly now in front of me, it's so wonderful seeing how her style continues to shift and grow and change throughout the series as needed. And that's
She
one of the
definitely
things.
has a different feel for each side of the die. a different
Mhm.
feel for the different characters. I
Mhm.
like the decision to have, and there's even a guest colorist for the
Oh yeah,
flashback stuff.
that's
The
right.
Bronte flashback stuff is done much more traditional and with the muted
Yeah.
color scheme
Mhm.
that I like a lot. That's a great panel there. Just the eyes
Oh
of
yeah,
that
the
guy.
eyes. That's
Yeah.
so well. So what's really interesting is that you have in your side by side. That's the opposite to how I have it in my single volume edition. Is that the page with the eyes is on the right hand side, not the left
That's
hand
weird.
side. That is certainly. I'll blame that you're going through a digital edition on that.
Wow. It just
Yeah.
dawned on me that they used that sort of like eyes a lot.
It, yeah. Oh, that is a recurring motif for sure. Is eyes and eyelessness, and I think it's because role playing games in general are about they happen between people so that you can't ever see them. You just have to imagine them. So in a sense, we're all blind when playing or listening to any role playing game.
That was really deep.
Yeah.
In a sense,
Thanks.
we're all blind. That is true.
It's I completely agree with that. Adding on to it as little as I can is definitely a whole viewer perception in any role-playing game because the game master says one thing and every player hears something different. I mean, not
Right.
Mhm.
they heard all the same words, but how that came out in their head isn't the same.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
all right. I think it's I hear my dog barking through time. So that might be our indicator that it's time to return to the evening from our early morning travel.
Yep.
Um, and next week we'll I don't know if we'll be time traveling next week or not. We'll have to figure out scheduling still.
Sure.
Sure. Next week, basically, I just have something going on from 10 to 2 on Saturday. And otherwise, I'm wide open.
I was gonna figure it out after we time traveled and we're off air, but you know.
But you know,
time traveling
that's
within time traveling.
that's not how we do. We do it. We break down that fourth wall all the time.
That's
Let's
true. We
break the
do.
fourth wall.
We do.
Was
That's
it ever
that.
there in the first place?
We also
Enjoy the
broke the
rest of
fifth and sixth
your
wall.
morning before you time
Yeah.
travel into the evening.
See you, Peter.
So bye young Tyler.
See
Bye
ya.
young Tad.
Young Ted, young Tyler. Someone should take the gags out of their mouths by now. You know.
Yeah. See, we decided that they went into stasis as we were there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
That's
we
responsible of
talked
them.
about the weird feeling of being in stasis this morning. So yeah.
That's all right. Well, thanks for having me, you guys.
All right. See you later.
Conversation. Isn't it great that we got that time travel thing down so we could go back and talk about die and have it flow so amazingly?
I know.
Say hi to old Tyler.
Hello, old Tyler.
Yeah, that's Tyler. That's Tyler from 6 hours from now speaking. Anyway, three books I hope will be spectacular this week. I cheated. The number one spot
I know you
it
did.
goes to the Tom King has 3 books coming out this week, and I am super psyched for all 3 of them, but I wasn't willing to give him all 3 spots. So Animal Pound number 3 with Peter Gross, Helen Windhorn number 2 with Bilquis Evely, and Wonder Woman number 8 with Danielson Perry and Bella Ortega all share the top spot. So that I can still give Jill and the Killers number 4 from Olivia Quatero Briggs and Roberta in Granada at Oni, the number 2 spot. Under Heist from David Murray Lapham at Boom, 3rd issue. The 30 spot, and like it was hard to leave Zach Thompson's new book, Blow Away, off the list. It was hard to leave Zoe Thorogood's Hack Slash Back to School, number 4, off the list, and Stephanie Phillips' Black Widow and Hawkeye, number 2, Love Me, a Romance Story, #1 looks really good. Quick Stops 2 has been amazing.
That almost made my list. I just got caught up on Quick Stops 2. I just read
hasn't it been fun?
I just read issue 3 yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, it's a good week, and I just noticed that you have on your list one that I can tell you is spectacular because I've read Zach Kaplan's Beyond Real #3 with Fabiana Mascolo and Vincenzo Riccardi.
This list was hard for me to not copy
a lot of good stuff.
Copy what you put down, because these are the books that I am most excited for. Is Blue Book 1947 #3 from James Taney and Michael Avon Oeming.
Yep, that was a hard one to leave off the list too.
Yeah, and then Beyond Real #3 from Zach Kaplan and Fabiana Mascolo and Vincenzo Riccardi from Vault, and then Animal Pound #3 from Tom King and Peter Gross out on Boom. I'm looking forward to all 3 of those books.
Animal Pound's the Tom King you're looking forward to the most?
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up. I haven't been keeping up on the other ones.
Okay, that's fair.
Helen of Windhorn is
Windhorn might be the one that I'm looking forward to the most, but Wonder Woman's been so effing good.
So I did read Helen of Windhorn #1, but I don't remember really what it was about, so I wasn't really looking out for #2. And then I have not been reading Wonder Woman. I don't read very much DC at all.
I don't either, but Tom King, and I mean, it's not quite. Having Wonder Woman on my pull list isn't quite as weird as having Venom or fucking Spawn on my pull list.
I used to be a huge Spawn fan.
I've never been a huge. I gave up on Spawn after the second story arc
because they just kept repeating. It just went.
I read Miller's Batman Spawn, and I'm like, oh, he does it better. Yes. And then I read the second story arc, and I went, yeah, no, I'm done.
Yeah, Spawn would have been much, much better as a mini series or something like that.
Or a series of miniseries, maybe if you'd done the Hellboy thing, where every time he or somebody had a good story worth telling.
Right. Exactly. Yep. But oh well. But yeah, Rat City by Erica Schultz.
So good. So good. Erica's fantastic.
Yep.
So
all right.
Alrighty. Well, I will see you when we catch up with our future selves.
Yes, they will have already
heard hours.
They will already have heard that part though.
Right. They will have heard that part. I mean, we were able to talk to them briefly, but I don't want to. We can't ruin that yet.
No,
because we can't actually. The way time travel works is even though we just talked to them, we don't know what they said to us because then we would already know what to say in the future. And that would mess up the space time. So it's we had
to back off.
We had a certain amount of time where our brains just went blank because our future selves were here.
Yep. Exactly.
That's definitely how time travel works.
So convoluted. All right. So listeners, we will catch you guys after the next page. Later. Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22panelspodcast.